Good afternoon, Jonah. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Yep, guys. My name's Jonah. I'm 23. I mean, if some of you are in the real world, I just go by one roadie in there. Um, yeah, and I've made lots of money in mostly content creation, e-commerce, copywriting. About over a little over 12 grand in the past month and a half just in content creation itself. So
Mhm.
yeah,
And overall, with everything, because you said e-commerce, copywriting, and content creation.
e-commerce, copywriting, probably 20, 30 grand in total. Most like I don't know the exact number, but around that range.
Mhm. So yeah, super solid. Okay, let's begin with which campus did you actually initially join, and how did you progress through those three campuses? Because it seems like quite a mix that you've done all three.
It's it's quite a mix, dude. So initially, I started off with the copywriting campus because that's what it was recommending to people, who didn't have money, and I didn't necessarily have any money at the time, but that's not where my money started rolling in. As as awful as it sounds, I was being undisciplined and kind of like jumping between different campuses. So I was checking out like e-commerce, I was checking out copywriting, and then when the content creation campus came along, that's when I really started to pick up things. Like I got to learn a bit about copywriting, learn a lot about e-commerce. I basically just picked up jobs to earn my money and reinvest that into stores and do different testing and pick up different skill sets throughout that as I try to build stores and everything. And yeah, yeah. E-commerce is what initially started taking off. It's what got me all my connections between everything, just building skills, becoming a valuable asset within that. And I feel like the copywriting, uh, it definitely applied to that. Like some of the skills I picked up from copywriting applied to e-commerce, at least building the website, and it definitely applies to the content creation aspect as well. At least when it comes to scripting, script structure, and anything in that regard too. So as weird as it is, it's probably not the way I should have done it. I was jumping all over the place, dude. And then content creation is what really stuck for me. So
Mhm. That's actually fine to do within your first 1 to 2 months of joining. It's fine to be
mm,
hopping around campuses as long as at some point you dedicate yourself to a campus after some time. Then yeah, again, it's not too bad to do. Which it seems that's what you did first, copywriting for a bit, but then still intertwined with e-commerce in your case, since it helps you with the landing page and probably other things as well. And
yeah.
for content creation, do you use that to do your own UGC ads or for something else?
Yep, I do my own UGC ads, and I also do um, you know AI content creation as well for video ads, and also running organic pages as well. At this point, I'm partnered with a TikTok shop agency who basically runs up brands for TikTok shops, and I'm starting an agency of my own for content creators in general. But lots of money to be made on the TikTok shop right now. So yeah, I do UGC, and I also do AI content creation as well.
Mhm. And after those things, what kind of proof could you give for the income that you made, just for anyone skeptical?
Yeah, so I could pull up Shopify here. This is a new store that we're running, at least in e-commerce. That's just this month. We just launched it, testing new
Mhm.
ad creatives and everything. I could pull up some Zells here too. I don't know if I should send. Let me see if I can like just cover at least one of them to show you guys. But here's a 4 grand payout right here.
Yep.
I think, yeah, it's. I mean, that's not the name of the brand itself I'm working with. So if that showed, maybe it'll be good. I'll have to look over it. But
Okay, I'll
but
check.
yeah,
But yeah, I saw the 4,000, and then it said something TikTok related.
yep, yeah. TikTok shop commissions. It's what's really been pushing out lately, and I'm working with a variety of brands right now. So
Mhm. Okay, super
yeah,
solid. Congratulations on that. 30, basically, what between you said 20,000 to 30,000 somewhere there in the past month. So super
no,
solid.
no. In the past month and a half, it's about
Month
12
and a half.
grand total.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right, right. My bad. Okay, with
yeah.
everything.
Not there yet. Hopefully, we'll get there. But yeah,
But still
not
super
quite.
solid. In the past month and a half, 12K.
Yep.
People are dreaming for that kind of money somehow.
Right.
So yeah, you're doing very well. And I'm sure there's so much more to scale there as well. And
Definitely.
now let's see. Let's get a bit more in depth into technical side of things, how much experience did you actually have with any of the three areas you went into?
Zero. I had none at all, man. When I first got into the real world, I was a complete mess. If I'm being honest, bro, like my life was a mess. I was doing drugs. I was just undisciplined. Household situation was chaotic, and I had zero skills whatsoever. And when I came across, Andrew Tate, and just I don't know. I started watching motivational videos about Andrew Tate or whatever. And then I saw the real world stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check this out because I was just at like this super low, man. So when I joined, I had like no experience, dude. When it came to any of this stuff, it was just all stuff I picked up over I'd say the past like 11 months to a year.
Mhm.
So
And how long did it take for you to actually become who you are now? And what does your average day look like now compared to before?
my average day is I wake up, make some breakfast, work, handle business calls, try to source more brands, which comes a lot easier now because just because of the connections I built over time. I kind of just get them thrown at me, and then I have to try to find creators for these brands because like I said earlier, at this point I'm trying to build an agency and taking on multiple brands to actually scale them on the TikTok shop. So my day basically just consists of that, doing my uploads, my video editing, doing my calls, and just basically that, just work, just constant work. So
Mhm. And what was it then that made you become who you are now, as opposed to what you said before joining? Was it a single thing? Was it like something that just clicked? Like, I need to do this now? Or was it incrementally over time? What was the process like?
no, it clicked. I got fed up. You know what I mean? I got really fed up with my situation. Um, yeah, I got really fed up with my situation that I was in, and at a certain point, it just clicked. I said something had to change. I ended up joining the real world. Picked up a job and everything, and I left my household. I wasn't even sure where I was going to go at the time. I just left my household. I didn't care if I was sleeping out in my car or what. I just needed to get out of there because I was in a pretty toxic environment at the time, and I felt like that was holding me back. So I got up out of there, just immediately started learning stuff, like learning new skill sets and everything.
Mhm.
So
Okay. So yeah, it was. You had reached a low point in your life, and then you had a guide in a way for how to get out of it. You just followed that, and here you are now. Is what that sounds like.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Okay. So yeah, beautiful to hear that the real world helped you in that way. And since you're on this trajectory, then where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, long term?
Well, in the short term, it's I want to scale up this agency some more, run up some more e-commerce stores as well. Just scale a few brands in that aspect, and I want to try to build something with longevity to it, and just reinvest all my earnings into other avenues as well. I want to start picking up on crypto at some point. I tapped into there, but they were like, "Don't do this unless you have cash flow." So I was like, "All right, let me focus on the cash flow first." But yeah, it's just a matter of I want to build something with longevity to it, and really scale up my brand. So in the short term, that's what I see. Long term, I just want to keep it pushing. Adapt to any changes that have to be made.
Yeah. And in terms of the learning material within the real world, how different is it compared to if you're trying to learn all of it online?
Oof. It's very organized, and you have help right there too. It's very very organized. Everything's set up structurally for you to just pick up on what you need to know every step of the way. So you're not like say bouncing between different YouTube videos. And professors are there too to help you. The community's there to help as well, and so that's helpful too. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. And I'd like to go back a bit as well, back to before you joined the real world. What kind of plans did you have, and where was your life heading?
It, I don't know what I can say. Honestly, dude, I felt like my life was like heading down like a road of crime, dude, and just like degeneracy and just nothing good in any regard, man. It was I was tearing myself apart at that point. Um, just like trying to get out of my situation, but doing it in the completely wrong way. Like I didn't know any of this stuff existed. I was just like being uneducated, stupid. I I didn't end up finishing high school, so I had to like test out of that. Like I had basically no plans, and then I got into music production, which helped keep me out of trouble, but it didn't bring any money in. You know what I mean? So it was I had no idea what I was doing at that point in time, man. It's confusing.
Was it because you also were surrounding yourself with the wrong crowd?
I'd say partially, yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
I definitely was, and yeah, definitely surrounding myself with the wrong crowd. There's practically no guidance to begin with, at least in my household, and I'm not here to crap on them either, too. You know what I mean? I still love my family, everything about them, regardless. But I definitely had to separate from that environment. I had to separate from certain people, and and just get it together and get around some better people and build a better network.
All right.
So.
And that's what you're doing now. Okay, makes sense.
Mhm.
But then, do you feel that's giving you a higher stress tolerance in the future? Because again, it depends how you look at it. If you're just looking at it from a victim mindset, then you'll think, um, "Why did this happen to me?" And then blah blah. But it doesn't seem like that's the case for you. You even said yourself you don't want to be crapping on
No,
them.
not at all. I don't want to sit here and classify myself as a victim. And I actually I used to look at things like that, man. I used to sit there and feel sorry about myself. Like I beat myself up constantly. But no, and the reality of it is I'm grateful for everything that's happened. Everything that's happened in my life. I feel like it came with a lot of lessons, and it's definitely helped mold me into the person I am today. And would I change it? No, because chances are I'd be somewhere else if it was anything different. So yeah, I think it's been beneficial. Yeah, it's a lot of craziness, but it definitely helped mold me to who I am today, essentially.
All right. And I know you've mentioned some of this briefly already, but I'm wondering,
Mhm.
is there any more to add on what kind of an impact Tate has had on you?
Dude, Tate's advice, man, is it's been golden. It's been golden, honestly. Like I remember just like sitting in my room, man, just when I first found him, I came across like these motivational videos. I was just like listening to him, and I'm like, man, this guy's like spitting. Like it was just like truth about life, And that was probably like I say a year and a half ago is when I really stumbled across him, and he was just spitting truth about life, and I felt it really resonated with me. And a lot of people came at me, said he was trying to take advantage of my insecurities or whatever. He's doing all this crazy stuff. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say it, but yeah, a lot of people came at me in that regard, and I don't know. I just felt like everything I heard from him though was just facts. It was just factual, and just started trying to put that into my brain instead of all the other nonsense I was hearing.
Mhm. And again, the results are showing from that.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, man.
Okay. So yeah, in terms of questions, that's most of what I wanted to ask. So can end off with for people who are unsure about joining the real world because they're thinking it could be a scam for the $50. What advice would you have to them?
I'd say, guys, it's $50. These are legitimate skill sets that they're teaching. There's infinite resources inside of the real world, infinite guidance inside of the real world as well. Don't listen to all these people trying to tell you that, Tate is just some guy trying to take advantage of young men's insecurities or, you know, I've had people come to me as well and tell me that they're teaching people how to sex traffic women, just all sorts of crazy stuff. It's not true. There's legitimate skill sets in there. It is all business. So go ahead and give it a shot. It's $50. If you can't invest that, then I don't know what you're gonna do. So give it a shot. It's worth it.
Cool. And yeah, been interesting to hear your journey, Jonah. I got
Hmm.
confused on those words, journey, Jonah. Quite a tongue twister.
Yeah, dude.
Could you give a, for anyone interested in contacting you or finding out more, could you give your contact details, anything?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can find me on Instagram. It's at one roadie, or if you got DMs in the real world or whatever. I try to hop in the content creation campus once a day, like during a coffee break or something. Just chop it up in there, see what's going on. So yeah, you can find me in either of those places. One roadie on Instagram, one roadie in the real world, and feel free to reach out for sure.
Okay. So I'll add those to the description of the video. And yeah, Jonah, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Great to hear how much the real world has helped you financially, um, emotionally, mentally, just in every way. That's always a great story, and I look forward to doing a follow up with you as well at some point in future to see just how much more you've progressed and get that documented. And until
Mhm.
then, I wish you all the best.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me on here. Yeah, yeah, we'll follow up at some point for sure.
Mhm.